Hello there. All right, I just watched the movie Munna Bhai M.B.B.S, and I'm just gonna say this movie's Patch Adams. So if anyone's seen Patch Adams, it's Robin Williams. He basically works in a hospital and brings joy to the dying patients in this business-like, stiff-working hospital. And this movie's exactly the same thing. It is funny, though, because he's a goon. The one thing I didn't like, I gotta say, so he's a goon, and his father comes to visit, and immediately his father comes to visit for 1 week every year in July, and it's been like that for a few years because he was alienated from his family, or he ran away because his father was strict and wanted him to become a doctor. So for that week, the place, the territory he controls, pretends to be a hospital. And yeah, then his father tries to marry him off to another doctor. And then the whole thing comes out that he's not a doctor. His father is hurt, insulted completely, and just removes all contact. So in order to get revenge, he joins the school where the guy who basically he feels disrespected his father, and the whole goal is to marry the man's daughter in order to get revenge. It's a little extra convoluted, but it was funny because the second he said, yeah, what was it? Because even though I've seen this movie many times before, I've seen this kind of story over and over, it's always fun. It's always fun. And the fact that he was a goon, the way it started out was just absolutely great. This man is being chased at gunpoint, and then he gets in a car with a cab, only to turn out that the cab driver was actually the one that was hired to do all that. It's very fun, very entertaining. They had this whole run through the streets thing in the beginning, and it's just like you could easily lose. I mean, if you already caught him, why are you going through this extra thing? But yeah, I like the movie. I really did enjoy this film because it does build upon itself. Because what was it? There was one scene which just it instantly reminded me of Patch Adams. I wasn't thinking about it. I was not thinking about Patch Adams for the majority of the film because he's a goon. Patch Adams was like this loving character, the Robin Williams, absolutely hilarious, absolutely loving. And there was just like this one scene where it was just I don't know, I can't remember. But my brain just immediately thought Patch Adams. And then from then on, I couldn't get that movie out of my head. Everything they did from then on reminded me of Patch Adams. And I was like, crap. I hate it when I do that. I hate it when I notice it and I'm like, shoot. Now I can't get it out of my head. But yeah, it was still a fun movie. I really did enjoy it. There's just... It had humor. It was cheesy, of course, because there's this part where they're going to have him rusticated from the college because he joined the college. He basically gets himself hospitalized in that school in order so he isn't basically removed. And that's just hilarious. And I did find it funny how that guy always seems to play a principal or a rude guy, because there's so many films where he's there's two that I can think of where he's the principal, or the lead in electronics or engineering. Yeah, the virus. He's the virus, and then this one I forgot what his name was, but yeah, J. Dot. The fact that he had to add dot to his name, that's where I was like, oh, this is one of those snobby people. It's just, why say J. Dot? Just say J and then your last name. You don't need to say dot or period or whatever it was, because I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to slap this guy. Yeah, one of those types. I mean, just why? I don't say B. Dot when I say my middle initial. No, well, technically not my middle initial, but still, it's just, I don't say B. Dot. It's just B. Yeah, a funny movie. I actually did really enjoy it. I don't like how my mind immediately, as soon as I thought of Patch Adams, my mind went there and I couldn't think of anything other than Patch Adams. It's aggravating, and I don't like that. But the movie was fun. I did like the romantic interest. I did enjoy it all. The fact that she was playing him as he was playing everyone else. The fact that he was cheating to get his scores. Everything. He was an absolute fraud. And the funny thing is, it seems like everybody knew he was a fraud. Everybody knew he was a fraud. He just never even though he actually did publicly state it. So it's funny. He's publicly said it to the dean directly to his face. That's when he injured himself to stay there. And it's just so many little things that are like, what the heck? He should have been kicked out a long time ago. But everyone is just cares about him so much. And I like that. It's just like, this is the type of person who's a psychologist. Or a psychologist? No, not a psychologist. Like a family therapist. Someone who can talk to people, who can just spend time with them, gives people an outlet in life. I'm like, this is the type of person who's a therapist. Get that type of degree. Don't go for a doctorate, because every time he was disgusted by everything. Disgusted. But yeah, the fact that one of the people he cared about passed away, and is like, he would have done more. The fact, because honestly, well, the way it starts out is I keep saying the way it starts out, but it's all over the place the way I'm talking. Like, the dean is doing this discussion as to why he doesn't care for his patients. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, you don't. And I would think that as soon as someone's injured in front of them, they'd turn it on, but I wouldn't want them caring about me. I would want them to see it as like a mechanical procedure that needs to get done. That's how my mind would view it. It's just like, you need to go on autopilot. Emotions take you out of that and will make you make mistakes. Yes, emotions are great for making you do things that you physically cannot do, like the instances where mothers are picking up like ends of cars by themselves to free their child, or just so many stories of people who are having powers of emotion. But when it comes to like precise surgery, yeah, I don't think extra strength while trying to do a simple cut is not gonna help, because that's when your body's shaking. The adrenaline has got kicked in because there's so much going on. Yeah, I like I didn't like that little aspect. It was just like, ugh. So I didn't like how he was bringing the emotion in. But then again, that was in Patch Adams. It was like, oh, doctors need to care. Doctors need to care. Yes. But at the same time, I always felt like it was the nurse's job to really care. They would be the ones who would get close to you. They would be the ones who would develop relationships. The doctors, I don't want to have a relationship with. I want it to be strictly business and them getting their job done. That's what I want. I don't want them to be caring about my life, and then while they're in the middle of talking to me as they're working on something, they nick an artery or who knows what. But yeah. So there are things that are just like, yeah, I get it, but still, I don't get it. And I don't like the fact that it's, like, honestly, that whole mindset where he tried so hard to get back with his father, even though his father was kind of, like, I don't know the ins and outs. Like, sure, there was probably something that, there was a lot that was his fault, but to be completely hated just because your father wanted you to have a success, be a doctor. That's all your father wanted for you. He never saw anything else. Oh, I've rambled on long enough. It's been a while since I've actually watched something. So this actually felt good. I like this. This is need to get back to more reviews. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.